tuning in to our first episode of What's the Beat. I'm your host, Najee.
I'm your host, Ronnie.
I'm your host, Bonnie, and we're missing our host, Butter.
Okay, so today we're going to do our recap of yesterday's competition of first round qualifiers of the AMA Mid-Atlantic and the
PA,
yeah. Okay. So, anybody want to break into it?
It was overall a good show.
It was
I had
a
a
good
great
show.
day.
I didn't attend, but from what I see from social media and everything, it seems like it was a good show. Congrats to all the winners.
Yeah, let's start off with that too. Congrats to all the winners.
Everybody's winners, guys.
Yeah. So, I want to break into the road to a competition. It doesn't matter what competition it is or where it is, but just the road to competition. It's such a struggle and it's such a headache. But at the end result, it's like win, lose, or draw. It's fun, and being in it, you just make it fun. But it's so hard.
I can agree. And this is the first year we've actually had like parent participation.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, besides my junior drummer parents, it's hard to get parents to participate. So the road to competition is hard because I got kids that they're practicing, but they ain't worth money for uniforms. They ain't worth anything, but these kids is hustling and you feel bad because they're kids. But I ain't got it. I ain't rich.
And fundraisers coming. Fundraisers happen, and it's like, where's the support? But
On both ends.
On both ends.
On both ends.
On both ends, right.
Well, I agree. On the road to competition is very hard, or to performances period is very hard, and even just the building and growth of your squad, it's hard to do it without the parent participation. And the only thing I can say about that is, like Bonnie said, it's hard. Like when you got kids who are basically like coming to practice and showing dedication, and they want to be there, they want to do it, and like the parents aren't there to support or financially and just be there to motivate their child on to do better in like their craft. So it is hard for that, but I mean I think that's where it kind of drill teams maybe it's time for us to buckle down and deal with it like an organization should, because if you go to daycare, not to say that you want to put a child out, but if you go to daycare, your child can't come if they don't make those fee dues, or if your child isn't cheerleading or anything like that. So maybe I think that's also plays a part in why drill team is so shunned and not looked at like other organizations.
That's true. But then at the same time, it's like you have 5 teams in one area. So it becomes very hard to, actually recruit.
Right.
I never get over 5 peewees. I have no clue why. I just never attract. They're either too young or too old to be peewees. I never get over 5 peewees. This is actually, we almost had an incident for this competition where I was about to be missing a peewee the day of competition.
Yeah,
I was going to have to go on our way to the competition to tell them that can they go on inspection and get disqualified? Them babies work too hard, and I feel bad because it's like as soon as one mess up and I only got 5, that hurts them.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to say because this parent wasn't paying, and I gotta turn around, because then I turn around and I screw up the rest of the line.
Right.
And not only am I call myself not hurting that child, but the parent. Now I got all these other parents that I got to deal with because they done paid money, they done paid this. It was hard trying to break it to the parents yesterday when we got there that morning to say, if this lady don't show up before we leave, there is a possibility that you have kicked out this money and your kids are not marching. And they're going, but they're not marching.
Right. And that's the crazy thing. It's not like, us as directors or, us as coaches or anything like that. We don't give the advance notice. It's advance notice and everything like that. So, I understand that people have bills, because we all have bills.
Right.
Like, I understand people have lives because we all have lives, and we all have to attend to different things. But when you're getting a notice to 6 months down the line that a uniform is blase
Child, I
price.
got parents who feel like they haven't seen a notice, and I'm thinking, I'm the notice queen. So I know
Text messages and everything.
I am the notice queen. They go home, I don't play, and I got a parents group. So those that's on Facebook, they in the parents group, and guess what? I do the little zip thing on Word. I make it a picture. I turn it from
Converted from
what's the name to a picture, and I upload it. Here's what your kids will be coming home with tonight.
Right.
If you don't see it, it's up here.
It's here.
Bam. Don't tell me you didn't see it. And don't not come without my money.
Because
And
Facebook can tell you. Yep.
But I get what y'all are saying, but I mean, but don't y'all think that maybe like to prevent those kind of problems? I mean, because like I said, drill team was built on, you know, instilling core values and, you know,
keeping the kids
you know,
off the
keeping the kids off the streets and stuff.
And
but
now
then at
it's
the
turned
same
into
time,
something different, and that is the issue.
And I think that, but I also think that maybe if like, you get what I'm saying, like I understand like the situation like where you said the girl, the parent wasn't, like you might have had to stress to the parents like, well, they can't do it. I think that's a different situation. But when you have parents who are like you said, you giving 2 weeks or 3 weeks notices and they're not giving anything, like it's like I said, it's hard. But I mean, I think that that's the best thing for the organization, for you to handle it accordingly. Like if you know that if you give advance notice and the parent isn't there, like we said, we don't have the money, and you know I'm a coordinator on the squad, so you know I definitely know that for a fact of I'm coordinating younger girls. I know what dealing with parents is like. So it's like, you know, it's like you kind of have to just be straight to the book and stay to the book and keep your feelings out of it, because like I said, that's where we always fall short at, because we feel bad because we don't want to, you know, we don't want to put this child out or put them back out so where they, or the streets to where they were. But
so most of these organizations like cheerleading and you know other stuff like that, like how you just mentioned, they weren't started for the same values that that the drill team was started for. So if you do have, just say, a 16-year-old and her parent is not doing nothing, or a boy and he goes out and gets shot, or she goes out and get pregnant, that would break your heart.
it would.
Because her parent or his parent couldn't financially provide for them or wasn't being a supportive parent for them.
Well, I know for us, we try to do like other fundraising events in between to help out the kids that we know don't directly have the money. When it's cold, we know everybody can't go out tagging.
Right.
So we try to do like the skating party for the kids and the dinner sales and stuff like that. So we do, and I just make it mandatory. You need to come and help out. Like even if you can't help donate some food, then you need to come.
Right.
Pack a plate, do something. I don't care what you do, but you need to show up here and you need to be able to do something.
Right.
So
Right, and I agree with the fundraisers, and you like I said, that's the other way I was gonna say too, like, you know, that's what fundraisers and stuff are for, like, and I do understand, like, you know, they're not built on the same thing, but I'm saying if we want, you know, people to recognize our organizations as such, because that's what I hear a lot, you know, oh well, they got TV shows for dancing, and we do this, and drill team is so below, but we're so below because we handle things according to our feelings or on personal feelings, you know, instead of dealing with it like it's an organization. Like, you can't work around the parents have to work around us. Like, we have to build the organization. And like I said, to me, I feel like, you know, if we're putting out fundraisers, like I said, if we're putting out fundraisers for your child to make some type of money, and you're not at all, every time you're getting 3 weeks notice and you're not giving any type of money, then it's sad to say, but I just feel like, to me, if it was my organization, your child just wouldn't be able to be here. And I do understand it's like you putting the child back out on the street, but then you run into problems like your squad may not be able to compete on the floor.
And I get what you're saying.
On the floor, because you wanted to, you know, not put them, you wanted to not X them out of this performance, or even not even that, not even put them off the team, but X them out of this certain performance, but you want them to do this because of how it may be, but it's not our fault that your parent didn't come through on their end, because we're giving out our end. We're giving fundraisers, we're giving other ways to help money, we helping ourselves, you know, we're putting our money out of our pockets to help, you know, but you can only do but so much.
Yeah.
And then you can't always, you know, step up and, pay or take the place of the parent, because then that's when they feel like they can fall back and
yeah,
it's okay because you got it.
Yeah.
So that's what I really mean by that. Like I said, I don't mean really putting a child off of a team, because I would never want to see a child put off on a team and go back into the streets, get shot or anything like that, get pregnant. Of course I wouldn't. But at the same time, you still have to instill those core values, like, as being independent, like, respect, all the things like that. Like, that's a part of it, being independent. Like, if your mom can't get it and you really want to do this, then you need to work hard on every fundraiser and push and work and get your stuff, and so you can get it, because your mom not there. And also us as directors and parents, if we have a constant problem with a certain parent, it's no way in your mind you should be having them there when it's time to perform, and they be able to hinder you. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not to say that was a situation with them, but right. You get what I'm saying? It's no way it should be there, because you already know that's a consistent problem with them. They should have no way to even be there with these people, because they're at a different bracket somewhat.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
That's my touch on that.
Okay, well, I think your touch.
I'm feeling it.
Comment, subscribe about your feelings about it as well. Okay. Yeah, we can move on to to what's next. Well, since you weren't there at the competition yesterday and everything like that, the stuff that you heard, like, break us down.
I heard just like, I heard Simons is finally back. I heard about, I didn't really hear so much. Like, I really seen like the videos, because like I said, I don't really get on social media like so much to really look at like people say this or something like anything like that. But I did hear that there were, people making hateful comments, or people took comments or statuses, in a certain way, like towards their drill team. Now, I'm not sure what was said or anything like that, because I didn't see it.
Okay.
But I guess should I let you go into it, or should I just give my opinion on just comments in social media, period?
It was comments made, and me personally, I didn't comment on one, but, I made a reference back to the comment. I'm not going to get into it and say, what the comment said or whatever, but I just felt like that, the comment was a little derogatory for the setting, instead of, a congratulatory status to say, good job, everybody. Everybody did a good job. Instead of, I didn't see anything I liked. So I just felt like, it was derogatory.
So I want to be, more as, I want to, because I want to comment on the situation. So I wanted, was what was said, that I didn't see anything I liked?
Yeah, it wasn't a favorite of today, almost like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Not verbatim like that, but in the
okay, I get you in that, yeah.
I think my problem was, and I think it's always my problem, is those who are just sitting in the stands to watch the show. I try not to ever say anything negative, because I try to treat people how I want to be treated. So in most settings, if you're nasty to me, then I'm nasty to you.
Right.
Bonnie is a sweetheart, so I normally, the only time I'm gonna get nasty with you is if you get nasty with me. And I try to be nice nasty. So sometimes it goes over people's head and they don't get it. They don't understand that I kind of just told you off in a nice way. However, I have an issue with when people are just like, oh, for instance, I'm calling you out, yes I am. When School made his post and it was just like whatever about people, whoever was talking about mass confusion, and I was just confused. Like, so I commented and said, well, when was people ever laughing? So what? I missed the joke. What was funny? Like,
I missed it.
Like,
too.
I had missed it. So if people were talking, then I don't know.
It had to be a group because it wasn't publicly. And
it wasn't public, and that's why I missed it. So that's why I was trying to figure out. So, it kind of puts people in a tight spot, which is why social media kind of gets underneath my skin a little bit. It puts people in a tight position because it's like, okay, people ain't laughing now at mass confusion. But there was only 4 teams that competed. So who you talking about, bruh? Like,
Right.
what you talking about? So So that makes me now be like, well, what did you hear? Because I know you didn't hear nothing from my team, but I'm trying to figure out what are you insinuating? Because there was only 4 teams that competed. Now, if you're talking about whoever was sitting in the stands, well, that's what they were doing,
Right.
sitting in the stands. Did they compete that day? No. Then whatever. I don't care.
Right,
but
so
it kind of
you can't
just,
say
those
anything.
things kind of like get up underneath your skin. And especially when it's one of those like, see, I didn't even get to congratulate them yet. He done posted this, and it make it seem like my team or another team was hating, and
Right.
it wasn't even like that. So
Right.
those are things that sometimes with social media, it can be like, it blows things out of proportion. And it's just like, okay, I try to let things go over and over and over, but after a while, it's like, I be trying to tell people, just shut up, let it go. But I understand how they feel, because sometimes my hands be like,
Yeah. I type
I'll be
and then I
ready
be
to
like,
go.
and then I hold the delete button.
yeah,
like
and I delete it. I done made a whole paragraph
Whole paragraph.
chewing you out, and then I just be like,
Just hold the delete button.
it's not
like,
the right
no.
thing to do, Bonnie.
Yeah.
It's not the right thing to do. So it's kind of like, yesterday to me, it was a good day. I personally, I enjoyed Mass Confusion Show. So it was a well-deserved first place. I'm also not a sore loser, but however, I've also been doing this for forever, and some people who have been doing it for forever are still have something to say.
Right.
I feel like
When the shine is not on you,
I honestly feel like there's just some people that's just never going to be satisfied,
Okay.
and that's just life, and it just is what it is. So I'll never be able to change their mind, no matter how much you try to be nice or play nice or anything. So for me, I'm just, all of that is done for me. So if we're not playing nice, I just won't say anything at all. You can play dirty by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play dirty with you. I'm not playing. I just won't play at all. So you can say whatever it is you want to say. You didn't have to like my routine. You didn't have to judge either. So if you want an opinion, go sign up to be a judge.
Yeah.
Call me when you do. Other than that, I don't care.
So how do you guys feel being as though that they are? I mean, because I wasn't at the competition, so I really can't comment on the shows like that because I didn't really see everybody's shows. But like, how do you guys feel about it? Like, if one of them wants to say like, well, I'm a spectator, I paid my money to see it. Like, I have an opinion. I have a right to have an opinion.
Okay, but okay, with that certain situation, you're still on a team. Just because your team is not in this organization doesn't mean that you can go put a negative spin on anything. If your team was in this organization, it would have been congratulations to all the teams that performed today.
To me, that's playing semantics. I feel like people know how to agitate people, and people also know how to get around things. Oh, I'm gonna throw this on social media, and then when somebody say something, well, I pay my money to watch, and I got an opinion, so I can say what I want to say. Yeah, but you're just being smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't see, people don't play fair
Right,
these
I get what
days.
you're saying.
For me, yes, if I pay money to go to a show,
Yeah.
I pay money to go to the show. Even if I pay whatever. But you already know the feelings on the table. And maybe that's with everyone, that everybody should stop wearing their hearts on their sleeves about things. But because there are personal issues that run into all of this, that's the reason why when somebody is throwing shade, you take it personal,
Right.
because you know that they're being smart. And all they're going to do is come up with a justifiable reason why it was okay for them to say what they said.
Right.
And it's not okay. Like, you didn't have to, you came, you didn't see anything you liked. That's fine. That's probably why it's either I'm blocked and I didn't see it, which is even better for me, or I didn't see it and it was great that I didn't see it because it went right over my head. But for me, that's something that I would have just looked and been like, you know what? Some people sometimes want you to respond to things. I'm done playing status war with you so that we can get nowhere, because we don't get anywhere. None of the situations are ever hashed or whatever. People think they hash these situations. Everybody puts Band-Aids on them and they move on. And before the cut is healed, they slicing you again.
No Neosporin.
Nothing. nothing.
No Neosporin.
No alcohol, no nothing. They just, So for me, as a spectator and a driller yesterday, overall, I had a great time. It was a lot of great performances.
It was, and I was about to say that.
I think,
like you see, sorry to cut you off, but Simon's came back out. Like Simon Intermediates, like congratulations on your first place, but they did good. They did wonderful.
And I didn't get to see them.
I think
so. I've been waiting.
I'm sorry. I just think that this. I don't want to touch base on it before we move to the next topic or anything like that. The social media and stuff. I mean, I think that I agree with y'all, but I think a little bit different, like on a different side, like only because. Maybe it's just me, like I don't really like, look at social media. I've never been like that, even back, when I was like on Dramatic Impact and stuff, like I never really like, I always said congratulations, good luck to everybody today, like, so I do understand, like, as far as when you see stuff on social media and like that you and that team or you and that person is feud and somebody writes something, it gets under your
skin. Hold on, I'm sorry, not to cut you off. It doesn't even have to be a feud because as far as the set is that me and that person don't have no ill feelings or not even but I just felt as though it was like a derogatory status on a good day.
It probably right.
Not even because I won or my team won or anything, but it was a good day. Like it was no drama, no arguments, no nothing.
But I mean, I think that I just look at it like I look at it like an industry. We are all producers. We are all dropping albums. All boom boom.
Right.
This is what we doing. So, in that industry, you deal with people who say stuff and people who just want to nitpick, people who want to get under your skin, people who want to give you congratulations, people who want to give you good luck. And I just don't look at it, and I think that, not to say that nobody does that, but I think that some people sometimes not let it define them, but that's the way that it comes off. It's like if somebody gives you like a negative comment or a negative feedback, which they're, like I said, to me, I believe that they're entitled to their opinion. You don't, like Bonnie said, you don't have to like my show. You don't have to understand my show, but this is what I produce and this is what I am, and I'm going to continue to produce it.
For me, I don't do email well. I don't do text messages well. I don't do writing on social media well. Everything that you write, I tell everybody. If you write me a text message and it doesn't say LOL, I think you're being smart. I'm cussing you out. If you send me an email, the people at my job will tell you. If there's no smiley faces, you didn't say thank you, I write you back and I cuss you out. If you get on social media and you think you're about to get smart with me, I'm going to cuss you out. Right. So for me, text does not come across well. It's very hard to perceive text. So when you see it, yes, somebody could have said, I didn't really see anything that I personally liked that day. And I might have perceived it different had you said it out your mouth. And you might have perceived me better because I might be like, oh, that was shade. We could have joked it all and kept it moving. But when you write it, for me, I don't perceive text well. So everybody takes things differently. I already am a person who wears my heart on my sleeve. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Yes, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So for me, sometimes depending on what it is, if you hit that nerve, good luck.
I feel the same way she do. Like sometimes I wear my heart on my sleeve. I try not to. But like sometimes depending on the situation.
I would say I think it's a good thing not to, especially like when you're dealing with like, especially like with competition, like we forget like, I think we all scream unity sometimes though, but then we forget that we are a competition, So like it is going to be shades, Oh,
and that's,
but there's different. Like for instance, we came around to go to the Captain's March. I know I'm competing against Najee. It ain't no big deal. I wasn't brought up like that I've never been one that has been like, oh, they about to perform and da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I just never, when I was younger and I was on Elegant Cavaliers, I looked up to people like Malika and them. My aunt used to make me go in and watch them. I watched Logan, I watched Shaka, I watched Sophisticated Debs, I watched she used to make me go make sure you got the deep voice so you can get your calls right and stuff like that. I watched these people, I watched this stuff. And there was never a time where I wasn't running in the gym to go watch the Youth of East Logan or run when I was at intermediate and things like that. And even when I moved up to open, I was more scared to get my behind cracked, knowing that I'm going up against these people that I like. They moved us up, and I'm still in high school. Like, I'm scared as hell. But it wasn't. I still was excited to see these people perform.
Yeah, I'm like that.
So I feel like
even when I'm not
competing. So it was one of those, like, I was sitting down. I was scared that whole time. I was sitting in the back. Even now, as drilling, I still get like those butterflies.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm like,
I know people.
I forgot Christian Warriors was going on, so I'm sitting there like,
it's social media that makes it all
on.
bad, because like I said before social media, nobody knew what nobody said.
Right. Yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
Unless it was on the phone,
exactly.
and you had a girlfriend or somebody.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. But nobody knew what nobody said, so it wasn't so visualized that you could tell that this drill team felt this way about this way, because the first thing everybody go put up when they say this is what's the name of the competition. So, and if it wasn't Facebook or MySpace or anything like that, they would probably just say it to their friend, but we wouldn't see it. You get what I'm saying?
On MySpace, we couldn't put up no statuses, so it wasn't like you could say anything. If you ain't make that your profile page, then it was nothing to do, or comment on somebody's wall.
Social media plays a big part in
it does. In the drama.
Taking things the wrong way because it's in text.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I get that too. Like, sometimes, like I said, somebody might say something to me in a text message and it comes across the wrong way. I just
know that if I sent you a text message and it came across the wrong way, I meant it. I meant what I said.
LOL.
No, that's what I'm saying. You would know, because I don't like for people to do that to me. If I send you a text message and it looks like I'm being derogatory, I am. By all means, I am.
Okay.
So you don't have to take
you don't have to take it the wrong way. I'm not gonna tell you I was just joking. If whatever way you took it, that's the way you should proceed. I said what I said. There's no take back. I meant that.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is. Unless it was one of those, I'm having a bad day and I didn't mean to actually say it to you that way. You were getting on my nerves, but I didn't mean to say it to you that way. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings.
Right.
That's a different story. I don't have many of those. However, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So, I mean, for me, I don't rightfully, I can say of the comments of the day, I think the whole drummer thing, that's getting on my nerves. That's getting on my nerves. I don't think people lose well, and I don't understand why. I just be like, you came in third place. Oh well, child, I don't care. Third place, better luck next time. That's my attitude. I don't care. And when people just what place did you come in second? Oh, really? I thought y'all did good. We did, but we just didn't win. It's okay. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to lose.
Right.
Beginning and end of the story. It's you play a gamble when you come in and you do your show. You hope that you were the best for the day, and if you weren't, better luck next time.
Right.
I just think that it becomes too much. Oh, they dropped 12 sticks. Careful, guys. It was only 4. However, it was only 4. However, at the same time, he fell with his drum and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just it kind of, not to go too much into it because I'm not a drummer. However, at the same time, it's just when do you shut up? How long? But then you talk about the girls, the steppers. They can't get along with nothing and da-da-da-da-da. As soon as the steppers say something, then this is drummers talk. And it's cool. No, because y'all sound petty. Y'all sound just as petty. Don't say you're not mad when half of these people are commenting. Half of the other drummers are commenting, yeah, they won and they dropped these sticks.
Because girls are catty and petty, and
so is these drummers.
But when the drummers do it, it's sportsmanship. I mean, that's just it. Because I listen to school video, and I was talking to somebody just about the whole drama performance. Back in the day you did. I'm not sure how your score sheet went, but back in the day you did used to get points taken off for.
Now I think NJA does take points off for dropping sticks. I'm not sure if I am sure WCJ does not. However, no, they don't take off for dropping sticks. It wouldn't have been a whole point anyway.
Yeah,
it would have been tenths of a point. However, don't give me that Crocker-ish about they didn't take the tenth of a point off, because no, they didn't. However, that's the same way as judging the show. That does bring your general effect down, because if you drop some sticks, I can't get with what's going on right now, because so now that might not make what's going on clear. So where you might have been able to get a 27, I just gave you a 25, and no, I didn't put the tick and penalty for your whistling, but it still hits you some way, somehow. And then you got people who don't. You got these kids who don't know what they're talking about. They're just like, oh, it wasn't Dean. He only judged one category. It was the overall judge. What is an overall judge, guys? There are 3 judges. Yeah. 3 judges. They judge three different categories. There are 3 judges. There's not one judge on there that can make you win or lose. Yeah, just score up. You get a score, and that's it.
Yeah.
Y'all got, before y'all let y'all kids get on these social media talking stuff they don't know, check them.
Yeah, and you know, please. A lot of people didn't know. Well, a lot of people didn't know as well either. Is that when they called the directors meeting in the middle of the floor, they told Arthur, and Arthur felt the tort, and he said that he wasn't going to penalize the teams if anyone failed.
And on my team, they don't socks.
Yeah, they
don't socks.
So he was like, I'm not penalizing anybody, because like from them pulling the tape up and putting tape back down, it was spots on the floor that were sticky from the masking tape. And like I just said, he said, you know, if you fall, I'm not penalizing you for that. But long as I can clearly, like you said, clearly understand and see your show, then that's how I'm going to score you.
And listen, they didn't even think they won because of the fact that they dropped sticks and they whistling. I can see if they won by 10 points, then even maybe I would have been like, bruh, how? However, there was a penalty. I read the recap. So they did get a penalty, so that brought them down a point. I think the penalty, from what I overheard, the penalty was from them supposedly not saluting when they Eastwick not saluting when they went off the floor. I think they did. I saw the tape. I think they did. So maybe they'll take the penalty back. They still lost, even if you give them the penalty back.
How can you take the penalty back?
Yeah, even if you give them the point back, then that means they lost by a point versus by like almost 2 points. However, you know, for me, I just feel as though it is what it is. Like, I can't justify it. It just is what it is. Like, so for me, my attitude is everybody just make sure you come back with your super A game.
Right. So
that it's, you know, like, so that if you thought you should have came in first place, that you make sure you come in first place the next time around. However, don't underestimate the people who drop sticks and fell because their shoes that didn't come on time will be here. So they won't be in socks no more. So, you know, do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do and make it happen, Captain. Okay. So as far, because we just touched on the judges, so we had a new judge on the panel. So that was a lot of talk about him. I heard a lot of stuff. Yeah, so it was Ryan Dean, my brother, AD. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Before Dean even hit the scene as judging, my thing was, you know, last year EJ came and he's a WCJ judge, and it was like, I didn't go to that competition. Me neither. But I got phone calls at the competition like, you know who's here? You know who's judging? No, who's judging? Like what? EJ is judging. And so is pissed off. They are not having it. What they mad for, bro? What you mad for? Like, it was a tri-stage, I think, right? Yeah, I think it was like tri-state, because it wasn't PA, because it was MPA. Right. So it was like tri-state or whatever. And I'm not sure if it was states or the first round. Either way, it was with multi. It was with the multi. So, you know, it was like this big thing. And I was just like, why? And it kind of goes into everything that we've been talking about. I feel like when people have personal issues with people, they let those personal issues come into play. Listen, I work with people I don't like. Yeah. But we work together, and we got to work together. And if I have to talk to you, I have to talk to you. We're going to do our work. We're going to get it done, and let that be that. I don't got to call you after work. We ain't got to have no drinks. We ain't got to chill.
Netflix and
But
chill.
some might
None
say
of
I
that.
don't get paid for this.
Huh?
But some might say I don't get paid for this.
But the judges get paid for that. So for me, that's his job.
Okay.
That's his job. He's there to do a job that day. And he's going to have to handle it. Listen, if you're going, for me, what goes on in the dark comes into light. So if you're not going to handle this as business-wise, if you went in to be a judge to wreck people's shows, then eventually those things will come to light. I mean, you're going to have to explain to me why you scored me this low, especially if, like, if you can't give. I'm not trying to see
if it's undeniably.
if it's undeniably good and you just like you just screwed me over. That's a problem. Or even if I have 3 sheets and I'm scoring 30s and on your sheet you giving me 18s and 15s, we gotta question it. And because we have a personal issue, then I might feel some type of way.
Right.
However, you gotta give these people a chance to actually come and do their job before you complain. And for me, I feel like who better to judge us than people who have actually been in the industry
That's how I feel.
and they kind of understand.
That's how I feel like, because people always say, like, you know, when we had like the other judges, or even when we have these judges like Arthur and them, I hear a lot of people say like, oh well, he doesn't know, like he judges people that throw paint around, or he judges other type of stuff.
He does come forward,
right? You know, people, but they try to say like, you know, he doesn't have like. They don't know drill team, or they don't know like I remember a few years back, I remember it was a big situation with them judging on, was it formations? I don't know, it was something like of them judging. I think it's when they first set them up there. It was, but I know it was like a few things where people said they don't really know what it is like to be judging it.
Wasn't
but
it
my thing is,
the idea of to move up in the
Well,
stand?
so here's the thing. If I don't know if you guys ever been to like a DCI show or
I've been
or TIA or any of those. They actually, well, I know for TIA there are some down below, there are some up top. The ones down below normally walk the floor, things like that. So, and remember with the NJA judges, they had one that would walk the floor, and even though they sat down below, you can see what you're doing from up top.
Right.
So your forms of getting to where you need to get to, how you get there and what they look like, it's more visible from up top.
Okay.
So I feel like people are afraid of the unknown, and then that's why they complain about those things. Well, why they sitting up top? No, everybody's just afraid to change, and I don't understand why. This is what they're doing. This is what they do. I don't have any problems with either judges. So when everybody's always like, "Let's vote," let's see. It's either or for me, because I know how Arthur is, and so I know he's theatrical. He likes drama. He likes, if you gonna do a theme, do your theme and do it well. Don't come out there and bring him a theme and you're not gonna act on it, because he's gonna eat you up on it. And the thing is that that's what they judge. Like, that's what they judge. When he does color guard, I've helped. He's actually had me come in. He has like a baby color guard. He actually had me. They had a drill team segment, and he actually had me a few years back.
That people say that 1 minute they say that the judges don't have the background or qualifications to judge us, but then when you get people like EJ and Dean,
then you have a problem with
it. They still have a problem.
Well, I know for like one comment that Dean had made, it was about a microphone. Well, this is what I was told. It was about a microphone being used. Now, I felt as though like I can't be judged on that because this is not my equipment.
Okay.
If it's an echoing microphone, I can't be judged because it's an echoing microphone and you can't hear me. It would be different if I put my equipment in, I had a wireless microphone or a wire microphone, and I'm walking around and you hear the woo or whatever.
But here's my thing. I think that people don't read their score sheets well, and they don't understand them. So here you have, so I'm not sure what category. For open, Dean did general effect. So he gave us, our scores. On the side, we had some points where he was saying, you know, good this, good that, and then some pointers on make sure you do this, make sure you do that. I think that people confuse it, like when he's like, oh, make sure you fill in the, for us. We were missing people. So on our left side was very empty versus on our right side. So therefore, he told us, you know, it's very gappy on the left side. So fill in those holes or close it up or whatever. That don't mean that I felt like he gave me we got a 24 or something in that category. That doesn't mean I feel like he gave me a 24 because our left side was gapy. That's a whole category. So, okay, I don't know who had the mic. I don't know who had the microphone. However, whoever had the microphone and whatever was said, I just feel like people like to nitpick. You had to find whatever category Dean was judging and say something that he said that you didn't like, and now you feel like you lost because of that.
Well, you know, I'm gonna get back because, you know, I'm gonna be real because I gotta be real. He had wrote a comment on my score sheet that I was kind of like, huh?
Okay.
It was a comment about my Pee-wee's audio.
Okay.
It wasn't clear. Everybody knew we did the Wiz. You can hear it from when it came on. People in the stands, if you had people sitting in the top of the stands, and they clearly heard, like, right where the judges was, that it was a Wiz. So I was kind of thrown back, like, what? But that was my only thing, like, and it was another comment on there. I don't remember. That was one that stuck with me, like, how you don't know what the audio is? You could look at it and then see, you know, that it's the Wiz. So I could, but it was another one. But I'm gonna give him a chance.
Well, for me, he was dead on, and even, you know, Val agreed with you know, with his. He was like, Dean was dead on, like he hit those things on the nail. I think he judged percussion analysis for senior drummers.
Okay.
So, you know, he was just like, he was dead on with the things that he said. I just feel like people gotta give these people a chance before you knock them down and be like, oh no, you can't judge. Why not, bruh? Like, why not? For me, I don't have a problem. I don't care who judges. I would love for them to let Bruce come sit on the panel and judge. He's a judge. He did, you know, he's a judge for WCJ. When he coming? Who gonna complain? Why are you complaining?
Everybody's gonna complain.
But why?
Mm-hmm.
But why?
For no reason.
I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand.
People
Some of these people have mastered their craft.
People are intimidated by these people.
And it's affiliation
And
that you also gotta look at.
people-
Like
but
you said, intimidation.
People are intimidated by these
that bring
people
on
and
intimidation.
because they're from other
I'm not scared
teams.
of
They feel
a soul.
because they're from other teams. They feel as though that, you know, maybe they feel as though politics are going to start falling in. Like, they don't want to. They don't like.
But you know, one thing I can say, like, okay, we talk about Bruce now. One thing I can say is, since he has not had, well, not since he has not had his team, but since he has not had his team, I've seen him congratulate people and, you know, doing all of that type of stuff. So, and it's been every team that's been competing. So if it was a personal issue, I would think that he would congratulate you.
Well, and EJ hasn't really been to any competitions in forever, so.
See, I don't know, because like with the personal issue thing, like I just if I have a personal issue with somebody,
But that's
if
the only
their
reason.
show is great, right?
That's the only
I
reason
don't
that
think
people say.
I don't think that people really are upset with these people because they have they have personal issues with these people. I just believe people get upset because they are
Affiliated.
They are just drill team affiliated. Like, you know, you would
That's
never
what you're asking for.
what.
That's your asking for drill team affiliation to be judged.
That's why I said if
don't
it
people
seems
from drill
weird.
team.
So for me, knowing
Like,
the
'cause
inside issues with a lot of people and then knowing who I know complained about certain things, it's always been personal issues.
Yeah.
It's always been
But that's
personal
the only thing you can say. You can't say, oh, because he was a director before, I don't want him, or because he drew or was a stepmaster before, I don't want him to judge me. That's what you do. That's clearly what you just asked me somebody
Here's
to
for
bring
me,
in that way.
you're only going to, at this point, at this stage in the game, you don't get people who are just sitting on the side who's just like, oh, I think I could be a judge. I didn't even know you, like, know nothing, like, you can go and do that. Like, I never knew until I think Travis that used to be on ID, White Boy Travis. I think he was like the first person to do it. He became an NJA judge. I want to believe he was the first one to do it. And until he did it,
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was possible for us to go and do. So, I don't think everybody
But EJ did
should
it with
be.
World Class. That was when I first heard about it.
I don't think everybody is meant to be a judge. Just like I don't think everybody's cut out to be directors or captains or things like that. Like some people are just good at what they do.
Drilling.
But I feel like
Drilling.
somebody like Bruce, I feel like he's mastered his craft, so to speak. Everybody can grow. Don't get me wrong. Everybody could grow. I would love to see Darius as a judge, because I think that he's done. I think he's done a lot, and I feel like that creativity on the table could. I feel like people can stand to use some advice, and the advice that you wouldn't get. Because y'all competing against each other, you'll get it now.
See, but then that's where I think that, because I feel like Darius, if you put Darius on there, if you put Rodney on there, if you put EJ on there, if you put anybody on there, if they were to say on your score sheet, anybody, they would say on their score sheet, okay, well maybe you need to, I didn't really like your audio. Somebody, they won't have a problem with it.
But here's the thing. There's a way to word things. But here's the thing.
If another judge you don't know said the exact same thing, you would not feel any kind of way because it's because of the person who it is. People are going to look at it like that.
Personal issues.
But it's not personal issues because.
But that's your personal feeling. That's still a personal issue.
I'm
not saying personal issues like we had a 10.
We don't like each other.
No. I'm saying just personal issues.
Okay.
You have a personal problem with the fact that somebody of your peer, you don't necessarily not have to like this person or have an issue where y'all were about to argue. I just think it's personal issues. People are afraid that people are not going to put their personal thoughts aside to actually judge the show as a judge and not as
other
a
people.
peer.
Other people are big headed and they don't feel like they have room for growth, so that's why they snap back like, oh well, who is he to tell me that such and such? Oh, because they feel like they're better.
That's the reason why everybody's not meant to be a director. Right. Everybody's not meant to be a captain. Everybody's not meant to read the damn score sheet because at some point in time you have to understand that. You're trying to climb to the top. Right. You're trying to keep climbing, and if you're not there yet and you can't take constructive criticism, that's a problem.
It's a real big problem.
That's a problem.
Because in this organization, all you gonna get is constructive criticism.
So my thing was, Najee, what was your problem with what Dean said?
About the audio?
Yes.
It was clear.
But it was maybe
it was
not clear to you. It was clear to you, but not him. That was your spot.
And it's not even like, everybody told me. It was, like I said, I had a conversation about with people, and it was like, I was sitting in the top and I heard it,
but you do. So how I see it sometimes is the judges write things, but they don't complete it because. So it's kind of like you gotta read between the lines.
I could have got it. If it would have at certain parts because I knew I worked I'm not the choreographer for the Pee-wee. Okay. I have someone else, Dariana. She's a choreographer for the Pee-wees, but I could like you said, it might not have been completed, whereas though, we put the drums in while the music was playing. So maybe the drums took, an effect on that. And
maybe that's what I was about to say. Maybe he's trying to say, not that the audio listening to it wasn't clear, but the overall message of what you were doing wasn't clear. Because I could get that. I could say the same for, I'm not a judge. But I felt that way for Exclusive Dynamics. They had their audio playing and the drummers playing, and the message was mixed. Right. Okay. So it was kind of like, what are you trying to say, or what are you trying to do? And people probably could say the same, for us, because I personally didn't like listening to our audio. It sounds horrible. So I don't even know if people heard what was being said because it sound muffled to me. So of course you got the message, but you didn't hear the message. You got the message because clearly we're vampires.
It was like you said, clearly it was vampires. I kind of got it. I kind of heard it a little bit. It was like Bring Me Your Heart. I heard certain pieces of the audio, but like I said, we can't control his sound system. Right. We don't know what type of machines or anything that he's using. All we doing is bringing the CD and making sure it's play. Like I said, with the
bitch, because they came in first place.
That don't mean they wasn't penalized.
But like okay, like I said, you write a comment on the side, you not knowing, like in Bonnie City too, you not necessarily knowing if you being penalized for the comment written on the side, but it's just a comment written on the side.
Yeah, because it's just a comment, just
and
like,
then if it's not a complete
Right.
comment and your feelings that it's not, a complete comment, then you like, well,
Because
Or
you
you
gotta
feeling like, 'cause
realize
if
that
you
in
ain't
each
get-
category,
you ain't get 30 in
there's
that
two
category,
sections,
you got 24,
and
you
then
feel
in
like,
those
oh.
two sections, it's things that run into those two
Right.
sections. So it's kind of like you didn't necessarily get penalized. Because of course there was no penalties,
Right.
but at the same time he might have said where I could have gave you a straight 30, it was a little unclear to me what was
Right.
going on, so I gave you a 27.
right,
Right.
yeah.
That makes sense.
That's why I said I'm gonna give him a chance. I ain't gonna complain. I ain't gonna complain.
Yeah, he was dead on for me. So, for all of my squads, honestly. And he gave good feedback. So I didn't, I don't have a complaint. But of course, there were complaints.
Comment, subscribe, tell us what you think.